This is the Noble Research Institute's weekly operational weather briefing. I'm John Felt. It's May 12th, 2018. Well, I think this week the center of action is going to be along this frontal boundary, sort of draped across the middle part of the nation. Now, it doesn't look like Oklahoma is going to be right in the core of the most focused energy with this, but there should be enough moisture and daily sunshine and a little bit of lift to give a chance of thunderstorms during the middle part of the week. Now, as you know, the western part of the state is very dry. You can sort of see the most extensive drought is actually probably Oklahoma has most of the exceptional drought of just about anywhere in the country at the current time. So you can see that real strong dividing line. I've been talking about it for a long time. Ardmore is on the area where we don't have the drought impacts. There's been some recent improvement right over the middle part, so it's sort of worked its way west a bit. And that's possible that we could see that again this week. So sort of keep in line. Let's take a look at this from this point right here. It's possible right along there could be some improvement, just that possibility, and keep that in mind as we go through today's briefing. So temperatures over the last week were above normal, especially over the western part of the state, where some areas near 10 degrees above normal, which gets me thinking about feedback. These soils are so dry, there's a reduced evaporation. Since there's a degradation of vegetation, we have reduced evapotranspiration. Because of all that, soils can warm up quicker, and then the atmosphere can warm up quicker. So that's definitely a possibility of what that's going on over western part of the state. And over the last week, we did have some needed rainfall. It wasn't a lot, but it was better than nothing, about a half inch and even a couple spots of an inch in that green over northwest Oklahoma. In Ardmore, pretty quiet. Just to the east, some light showers. So overall, a pretty quiet week, but at least where that rain fell, it was needed. Now this week you can see where the moisture is. This is the dew point, and right here along the boundary where we have this cooler air to the north and warmer and moist air to the south, that's going to be the action spot as we go through the entire week. So Oklahoma, Texas, it's in the moist air, and that's going to give us enough to give us some daily chance of thunderstorms. So this week you can see we have a bit of a southwest jet. Southwest jet, we have these little pockets of energy that are inside here. They're not real strong, but each one of these can give us a little bit better focus for precipitation. Temperatures should average above normal this week. That's that area in red, especially once again over the western part of the state. And here is this boundary as we get into Monday. You can see here each one of these little areas of low pressure is one of those areas of energy, and if they inject from the southwest, it could brush the western part of the state. So that would be good news indeed. So we look at precipitation here. Remember I said right in that one band here, that is where we could get some needed precipitation. So even though it might not get into the very hardest hit spots, this would be a very beneficial rain if it was an inch, inch and a half, maybe a half inch even, in this region. We start to chip away on the edges of that very slowly. Now we get into May 17th through 22nd. I wanted to go back here and just mention as we get into the eastern part of the state, it really drops off quite a bit. So in this case, Ardmore's right on the border, sort of reversed here. Drier to the east, a bit wetter to the west. May 17th through 22nd, jet stream begins to lift to the north. This looks like a little bit quieter jet stream. We don't have quite the southwest flow, but we still have some. And you can see temperatures remain above normal. May 22nd through 27th, this is almost a bit of a summertime jet stream, but it does show a bit of a southwest flow. So as long as we have that bit of a southwest flow, I think we're going to have some daily 30% in there, maybe even higher, and above normal temperatures. So no relief from above normal temperatures right through the end of the month of May. So like I said, for week one, what you can see here is here's the center of action mainly to the north along that boundary, but some of it will drape down to the south. We have a strong dry signal over eastern Oklahoma, and let's keep our fingers crossed, maybe some needed rain in the west. Week 2, remember I said we still have that southwest flow. That boundary should still be there. Looks like it could be very similar week 2 to week 1. I don't think it's going to, by any means, solve the drought issue over the west, but I do think we're going to see some improvement, especially in this area right here, in between here. I think we're going to see some improvement right in that area. And it's going to represent an opportunity for rain that we've not seen for quite some time. But specifically at Ardmore, week 1 looks very dry. It looks like we're going to be on the dry side. Week 2, lots of colors here. And what that means is the models don't have a really good grasp or a confidence in what's going on in the latter part of May. I think we're going to get those 30% in there, and that's why that's showing that way. So overall, it looks like most of the rain this week should be west. Now, as far as temperatures go, temperatures pretty much consistently about 5, maybe even up to 8 degrees above normal right through the end of May. And if we look a little bit farther out, weeks 3 and 4, above normal temperatures, that's on the left, and generally below normal precipitation. Now, there's going to be a fire weather risk. I wanted to point out we've had this in that area of drought for quite some time, and this looks like it could brush the very far part of Oklahoma, generally the panhandle areas that are just outside the areas of rain. So I think I've covered this. I think we're going to have some scattered afternoon and evening storms, perhaps in areas that really need it, and above normal temperatures. Have a great week.